Hi, my name is SALMAN. In this video, I'm going to diagnose the 5 defects. Defect number 1, efflorescence. 2, rising dampness. 3, crack. 4, green mold. 5, subsidence. Defect number 1, defect diagnosed as efflorescence. It was diagnosed at DESA Green Service Apartment at basement 6, as you can see.
My name is SALMAN. I'm here to show the defect number 1. You will see it in the videos. Thank you.
Efflorescence is one type of defect found on plaster surface. Efflorescence is the whitish crystalline substance which appear on the surface of wall due to the presence of soluble salt such as sulfate of sodium, calcium and magnesium. However, the root cause could be the presence of salt in the lime, cement, sand, bricks and sometimes even in the water used in construction work are the cause of efflorescence on plaster surface. The crystals like ice are deposited as you can see in the video. After completion of plaster work and when it becomes completely dry, the soluble salts dissolved by moisture are drawn to the surface through pores. These soluble salts absorb moisture from atmosphere and on drying, they get deposited in the patches in form of white crystalline substance. The surface gets disfigured by ugly damp patches of efflorescence. This defect gradually disintegrates the structure. It normally of temporary in the nature as it disappears during the wet weather and reappears during the So yes, here's the question: how to rectify efflorescence and what are the remedies? Efflorescent salt cannot be removed by washing with water as it may carry some of the salt back into the pore. Dry brushing of the cloth as it appears on the surface is one of the remedies. The treatment of an old wall with silicone solution will frequently stop the efflorescence as the liquid blocks the passage for movement moisture. When efflorescence is due to the rising of salt solution through capillary action from the subsoil, the only remedy is to provide bitumen or metallic seals in the wall above the ground level so that an effective barrier to the capillary action is created. In this case, we are going to use all these 3 remedies. So yes, here are the implications. How to prevent efflorescence in a building. We use cement gauge lime mortars or moderately hydraulic lime mortar or cement mortar should be used the small proportions of alum and soft soap throughout the work if possible then the use of waterproof mortar. Secondly, the use of damp-proof courses should be made wherever necessary. Third, only burnt bricks and clean water free from salt should be used. Fourthly, the masonry or plaster work should be well protected at night during rain to exclude extra water. The second defect that I have diagnosed is rising dampness. This was located at DESA Green Service Apartment, same as basement 6.
Hi, my name is SALMAN. I'm here to show the defect number 2. As you can see over here, this is DESA Green Service Apartment located at Taman DESA, and I will show you my defects over here. Thank you.
So, what is rising dampness? Rising damp is a form of dampness that is present within the walls as a result of moisture penetration from outside or beneath the structure of property. It is a particular problem in older buildings where the damp-proof cores has been damaged or when the ground level around the house or the building has been raised by the addition of path or driveway. Also, rising damp usually affect ground floor wall across the walls, entire length and bottom part from where it can rise up to as much as 1.5 meter in height. As it can be seen on the video, the wall is entirely dry. I'm using my hand on the wall and checking the moisture level. My hand feels dry when I put the hand on the wall. So I use the tissue paper to stick on the wall to get the moisture. In a basement of this condominium, the problem is moisture under hydrostatic pressure since it is the 6th floor beneath from the surface of the surrounding ground, and it can be ranged from simple dampness to the running water depending on the circumstances, as it could be seen on this video. So the remedial action is to install either a cement-based waterproof render to the walls and floor which will hold the water back, or a cavity drainage membrane lining which is designed to channel any moisture coming through the wall into the drainage system around the base of the wall and under the floor, and then move it safely away to the outside of the building, usually via sump and a pump arrangement. Most modern properties are built with a damp-proof course, usually in the form of an impermeable plastic membrane which is placed along a mortar line near the ground. The implications could be health concern, produce allergens, substance that can cause an allergic reactions, irritants, and sometimes toxic substances. Inhaling or touching damp spores may cause an allergic reaction such as sneezing, a runny nose, red eyes, and skin rash. Molds can also cause asthma attacks. If this problem is not diagnosed at this stage, it would further implicate to more serious problems. Defect number 3. The crack at barrier wall. The defect was diagnosed at Electrical Engineering faculty near Mercu Alambina.
My name is SALMAN. I'm here at University of Malaya Electrical Engineering block, and as you can see, the defects are exposed over here. Please come here. In my later videos, you will see the explanation of these defects. Very good.
The crack that you can see is at the center of the panel of cavity brickwork. The crack is the widest at the top and may narrow to the hairline crack at down, especially where the brickwork does not reach the bottom of the panel. The phenomenon usually occurs where panel of brickwork are between column, especially if the crack is diagnosed at 5 mm, which could be said minor or normal decorporation. The root cause could be thermal movement. It is one of the most potent cause of cracking in buildings. All material more or less expand on heating and contract on cooling. The thermal movement in a component depends on a number of factors such as temperature variations, dimensions, coefficient of thermal expansions, and some other physical properties of material. The coefficient of thermal expansions of brickwork in the vertical direction is 50% greater than the horizontal direction, because there is no restraint to movement in the vertical direction. Thermal variations is mainly the external walls, especially this wall exposed to direct solar radiation with no and the roof. Second diagnosis could be improper sections of the material or selection of a poor quality cheap materials. The best course of action is to use a Sika 215 crack filler, which could be poured by using injections or could be filled by using scraper. It would fix the crack, as well it would stop cracking it further. As you could see over here, the crack is less than 5 mm and it is went beneath the wall to the ground floor. So we started looking around the wall and we saw the crack went through the wall. However, the fourth defect is a green mold, which is diagnosed at Electrical Engineering faculty. Green mold is also very common in houses, and like blue mold, often appears in damp areas and damp corners. It is type of fungus on the wall caused by dampness. However, the root cause could be mold needs these conditions before it can begin to grow on a wall. Firstly, mold spores. Secondly, oxygen. Rising dampness or leaks. Moisture is really the key cause of a mold growth. Humidity causes mold. The weather of Malaysia is tropical, where it rains for several days. It's especially common to see the mold start to grow on the walls. Yes, for a cause there is a remedy. I came up to pour hydrogen peroxide on the wall and let it dry to remove the mold. Secondly, use bleach to make a soluble solution of chlorine bleach and water to pour on the wall and let it dry to remove the mold. Lastly, to use the spray of vinegar on the wall and let it dry for a couple of days to remove the mold. However, the major implications could be the health issue. The mycotoxins can cause people to suffer toxic symptoms including respiratory and breathing problems, hemorrhage problems, inflammations of the skin, irritation of the mucous membrane, constant tiredness, or feeling like you are going to be sick. If not rectified on time, can grow further and can cause many damages to the aesthetic of the wall as well the structure of the wall by causing dampness in the structure. The last defect, defect number 5. Is settlement. Defect diagnosed was at Electrical Engineering faculty.
My name is SALMAN and this is my last defect, which is settlement, and I will show you in my next video.
So yes, what is settlement? A settlement is usually the downward movement of the site on which a building stands caused by the weight of the building. Subsidence in the structure refers to the distortion or disruption of the slab. The root cause that were taken under consideration were unequal compression of its foundation, shrinkage of clay, undue loads being applied to the building after its initial construction, soil movement during the construction phase is not strengthened enough, and lastly, the slab is located at the hill that causes an unequal stress. The crack was measured and it was between 50 and 100 millimeter, as you could see in the images. Further I went top on the hill. I saw more settlement.
Thank you for watching the video. Hope you like it.